Hey everyone, Nioh 2's latest DLC, Darkness in the Capital, came out a day ago and I've just finished playing through it, so here are my thoughts. Since I made you sit through that little DLC intro, I'll get straight to the point. This is a great DLC and I really loved playing it. For $10 to $15 or something like that, depending on where you live, you get 3 main missions and you get 8 new sub-missions, and each one of these missions is a lot of fun to play. As usual with Nioh, there's a new region to play. This one is called Dream of the Wise. I haven't touched Wise yet, as I played the DLC through completely on Dream of the Demon, where mission levels span between level 361 to 371. My character was level 170, but even though I was 200 levels lower than the enemies, the challenge on Dream of the Demon was just right, thanks to how my Relentless Tonfa build can face tank and heal through everything. Without a decent build though, the challenge will be a whole other story, so be aware of that. I'm about to give glimpses at some of the new enemies and bosses, so if you don't want to see any of that, this is your moment to avoid spoilers and go watch something else. Okay, there's 4 brand new minion enemy types in the game and they're all well designed. I have to say, they're pretty freaky too. This is Yasha and she looks just phenomenal, I reckon. That's such a great design. She's also a real handful in the game and maybe even the toughest new minion enemy that they've added. This is the Obaru Garuma. I have no idea if that's the right way to say it. We'll just call it Wagon Head. It's a seriously crazy enemy that I love fighting because it's so damn unique. It's also a bit nerve-wracking because here and there you come across strategically placed wagons that are actually wagons and not yokai. So you never know if the next wagon you see is going to be a yokai that wants to eat you or not. And yes, these wagon heads do try to eat you. They have a move that swallows you whole. It's such a cool new enemy. There's 3 new bosses to fight, though technically you could say 2 of them are the same boss, but whatever. They're completely different boss fights, so I'm calling that 2. In any case, they're all really great boss fights, both in visual design and mechanics. I'd say it's hard to pick a favourite, but if you did force me to say, I would pick Tsuchigumu, the spider boss. I'm someone who, when they hear there's a spider or a spider boss in a game, I pretty much just sigh. But no, Tsuchigumu is really great, and that's a boss fight I remember and totally enjoy. There's also 6 new mini-bosses. I mean, you can call them bosses if you want, or you can call them NPCs, since you do get to interact with, I think, all of them, and eventually fight them, or you get to fight them and then interact with them, or whatever order, depending where you're at in the story. Speaking of which, the story is, to my mind, better than what we got with the Tengu's Disciple DLC, though I do admit I was probably less attentive to the story than maybe some other people will be, but it does continue the overarching story of Nioh 2, if you're wondering. As usual, there's some old Nioh 1 content added in, including a mini-boss here or there and some other minions, some of which are slightly modified if I remember rightly. But that said, this is a pretty unique DLC in that all of the new enemies and bosses add up to make this feel really, really fresh. At no point did I grumble about anything. Even old repurposed Nioh content is at a minimum. There's no overuse of anything here, at least strikingly so, and I found that to be great. There's also a new fists weapon, aka Gauntlet, for people who like to punch their way through the content, or if you want to look like Wolverine, since they also drop his claws. There are also new scrolls, new Onmyo magic and Onmyo talismans. There's new ninjutsu skills. I particularly like the Flame Dragon scroll. That's a really good new ninjutsu skill. It's very easy to use and fun to use. There are also new accessories, and just like in every other DLC, there's also new Guardian Spirits. Most of all that, though, I haven't seen or tried out just yet, despite having completed all of the missions. So I certainly haven't seen everything that's new in the DLC, and that's a good thing. I'll be looking forward to sinking my teeth into it all as I work through the Dream of the Wise region between now and when the next DLC drops, which I think we're going to get some news on in November. But from having completed all the main missions and all of the new submissions, I can safely say I think this DLC is one of their best. It's great. It's about the size of a typical Nioh DLC, so it's not terribly large, but quality over quantity, I always say, and the quality is definitely in this one. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun playing it, and I'm pretty sure you will too. And that's my take on Nioh 2's Darkness in the Capital DLC. If this video has helped you out in any way, throw me a like, or click that like button as well if you've picked up the DLC and you love it too. Alright people, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.